Alright, so today I'm just going to be working on the Z. I'm going to be changing the inner tie rods, the outer tie rods, and the tie rod boots. And I have some rack spacers that I can install for more angles. So we have just generic Z32. Oh shit, I thought that was a spider. Generic Z32 outer tie rods. They were way too expensive. And then Tyne inner tie rods, and I actually tried to put these on already. I just wasn't recording, and it didn't go well. Make sure you have everything before you guys work on something, because it's really annoying when you have to drive home with like 3 degrees of toe in and the other side's fine. It's so yeah, don't do what I do, and make sure you have everything before you start on a project, because it can end poorly. Tie rods isn't too bad of a job, as you can see. Yeah, don't do that either. This is the new side, and yeah, I'm gonna change the outers. I'm gonna take that inner out and put the new boot on. And I think you have to trim these inner tie rods because they're S14 inner tie rods on a Z32. And yeah, I think you have to trim them because this side has a lot of toe in, if you can't really tell. I mean, you can probably tell, but. All right, so I got the first side off, like out of the knuckle. If you don't have like one of these, which is take tie rods off, you just stick it like that and then hammer it in. I highly recommend it because you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to get your tie rod end out of your knuckle if you don't. So we're gonna go on to the other side and do the same. I'm gonna kind of try to do these in unison, just make it go by a little bit quicker, hopefully, and just make steady progress throughout the whole process. All right, so it's the next day. I was having trouble because I just ended up with a bunch of toe in, and obviously you can't run that. So I just picked up some stock Z32 inners and outers, and I put the rack spacer on, and this is the angle that I get with just a rack spacer, which is, it's actually pretty nuts. I'm excited to see what it looks like on the ground. But I've been having so much trouble with this because not a lot of people do like Z32 drift cars yet. But yeah, it's all bolted up, torqued down, thread locked the inner tie rod in and everything. If you're wondering how slip-on spacers or rack spacers work, you just literally take off the inner tie rod, slip it on, and then this allows the inner tie rod to travel into the rack further, giving you just more steering angle. It's probably the cheapest way to get more angle, and you get like another 10 degrees. Before it was probably, let's see, it was probably like this, maybe less. And now, let's see if I can get that. Yeah, it was probably more like this. And then that rack spacer just gives you an extra 10 degrees. And I'm actually hitting my brake line, if you can tell, right in there, which is not good, but hopefully it doesn't burst on me, because that would suck. But I have an event in 2 weeks, and after this I'm just gonna stop messing with the car. I'm just gonna get it to where it's drivable and functional, because it should be prepared pretty well. I mean, I've got coilovers, I've got a stack of burners, super excited about, fresh wheels, TT wheels, steering wheel, seat. My e-brake doesn't work, but I'm not too worried about that because I just got to learn how to slide first. You can run S14 tie rods if you have extended LCAs. Mine are just stock, so they're too long for the stock, like knuckle and lower control arm and everything, so it just won't work. But I'm glad I figured it out.